New York never truly sleeps. Even at 3 a.m., the city breathes through glowing windows, humming subways, blinking traffic lights, and millions of screens lighting up faces across the skyline. Electricity is not just power here, it is the heartbeat of the city. Now imagine this heartbeat suddenly stopping, not for minutes, not for hours, but for 30 full days. No warning, no countdown. Just darkness. The moment the power dies, New York does not fall silent. It explodes into confusion. Skyscrapers vanish into black shapes against the night sky. Elevators freeze mid-air, trapping thousands between floors. Subways grind to a halt inside tunnels, plunging passengers into pitch-black panic. Traffic lights shut off simultaneously, turning every intersection into chaos. Phones light up for a few minutes, flooded with messages, videos, and fear, until cell towers begin to fail one by one. Within hours, the most connected city on Earth becomes blind. The first night feels unreal. People step outside expecting the lights to come back any second, because they always do. Candles appear in apartment windows. Sirens echo endlessly as emergency services struggle to respond without functioning systems. Hospitals switch to backup generators, but doctors already know the truth. Generators are designed for hours, maybe days, not a full month. Refrigerators stop working. ATMs go dark. Digital payments disappear. For the first time in decades, cash becomes king again, and most people realize they don't have enough of it. By the second and third day, fear replaces disbelief. Grocery stores empty at a speed no one thought possible. Food rots in powerless warehouses. Water pressure drops in high-rise buildings, forcing families to carry buckets up dozens of floors. Without refrigeration, medicine spoils. Diabetics panic. Elderly residents struggle in overheated apartments during the day and freezing darkness at night. Social order begins to stretch thin. Police departments are overwhelmed, operating with limited fuel, broken communication, and exhausted officers. As days pass, the city begins to change. Neighborhoods organize themselves, while others fracture. Some buildings form candlelit communities, sharing food and guarding entrances. In other areas, looting begins, not out of greed at first, but survival. Pharmacies, grocery stores, and supply trucks become targets. The sound of helicopters overhead becomes constant, yet reassuring and terrifying at the same time. New York has not collapsed yet, but it is no longer stable. By the end of the first week, the blackout is no longer a city problem. It becomes a national emergency. Wall Street has been silent since day one. Servers are offline. Trading floors are dead. Data centers running global financial systems struggle to stay alive on limited backup power. International markets react violently. Stock exchanges across Europe and Asia plunge as investors realize the unthinkable. The financial capital of the world is offline. The US dollar shakes, confidence erodes, panic spreads far beyond American borders. As the second week begins, the blackout reshapes human behavior. Sleep patterns collapse without artificial light. Days feel endless, nights feel dangerous. Crime evolves, not chaotic but calculated. Fuel becomes more valuable than gold. Military convoys appear on bridges and major highways, guarding critical infrastructure. Curfews are enforced. The National Guard distributes limited supplies, but demand far exceeds availability. Rumors spread faster than facts. Some say the blackout was a cyber attack. Others believe it was sabotage. No official explanation feels convincing anymore. Hospitals reach breaking points. Backup generators fail. Doctors are forced to make impossible decisions. Lives are lost not because medicine doesn't exist, but because power does not. Morgues overflow. Sanitation systems begin to fail. Trash piles up in the streets, attracting disease and fear. The city smells different now. Heavy, sour, broken. New York is still standing, but it is wounded. By the third week, the world begins asking a terrifying question. If New York can go dark for this long, can any city truly be safe? Governments quietly reassess their own power grids. Cybersecurity becomes the most urgent topic on Earth. Emergency summits are held. Global markets adapt, but trust is permanently damaged. The illusion of invincibility shatters. Inside the city, people are no longer waiting for electricity. They are adapting to life without it. Handwritten signs replace digital screens. Bartering replaces online payments. Fires burn in barrels to cook food. The skyline, once a symbol of human achievement, now stands as a monument to dependence. Skyscrapers are useless without power. Height becomes a disadvantage. The higher you live, the harder survival becomes. As the 30th day approaches, exhaustion defines everything. Physical exhaustion, mental exhaustion, a collective trauma that will never fully fade. When electricity finally returns, it does not feel like celebration. Lights flicker on, screens glow again, signals return. But the city is quieter than before. People stare at the light as if it might disappear again, because now they know it can. New York comes back online, but it is no longer the same city. Neither is the world. Power grids are redesigned, policies change, fear lingers beneath every glowing streetlight. Humanity learns a brutal lesson. Modern civilization is only as strong as the electricity that feeds it. And the most dangerous part is not that this could happen. It's that one day, it might. But the return of electricity is not the end of the story. In many ways, it is only the beginning of something far more dangerous. Because once the lights come back on, New York is forced to face what the darkness revealed. Trust is broken. Systems once believed unbreakable are now questioned. And a city that prided itself on control realizes how close it came to complete collapse. In the days after power is restored, investigations begin immediately. Engineers, cybersecurity experts, intelligence agencies, and military analysts swarm the city, searching for answers. Was this a cyber attack? A foreign adversary testing America's limits? Or was it something far more unsettling, a failure from within? Early reports suggest the truth is not simple. Aging infrastructure, overloaded grids, human error, a cascade of small failures that aligned at the worst possible moment. The blackout was not caused by a single switch being turned off. It was caused by decades of warning signs being ignored. As details emerge, public anger grows. Protests erupt outside government buildings. People demand accountability. How could the most powerful nation on Earth allow its most important city to go dark for a month? Politicians give speeches filled with promises, but words feel weak after 30 days of survival without light, heat, or certainty. For many New Yorkers, apologies mean nothing. They lived through the reality. They buried people who should not have died. They saw how thin the line between order and chaos truly is. Wall Street slowly reawakens, but the damage is already done. Markets stabilize, yet global investors no longer see New York as invincible. Backup systems are redesigned, trading hours adjusted, contingency plans rewritten. Quietly, financial institutions begin diversifying away from a single point of failure. The world does not say it out loud, but it has learned a lesson. Never place the heart of the global economy in one city again. Life in New York changes permanently. People who once chased luxury now value basics. Backup generators become standard in apartment buildings. Emergency food storage becomes normal. Conversations shift from ambition to preparedness. Parents teach children how to live without screens. Communities that form during the blackout stay connected, bonded by shared trauma. Meanwhile, others leave the city entirely, unable to shake the fear that the lights might not come back next time. The psychological impact lingers longest. Even months later, a brief power flicker causes panic. Elevators empty instantly. People freeze when streetlights blink. Darkness is no longer neutral. It is a memory, a threat, something that feels alive. New York has survived disasters before, but this one was different. There was no visible enemy, no explosion, no storm to point at. Just absence, silence, powerlessness. And across the world, governments are watching closely. Cities from London to Tokyo quietly assess their own vulnerabilities. Emergency drills increase significantly. Cyber defense budgets explode overnight. The blackout becomes a case study taught in military academies, economic forums, and intelligence briefings, not as a hypothetical, but as a warning. Because if New York can fall into darkness, so can any city. Yet the most unsettling realization comes later, long after the headlines fade. Experts agree on one thing: the blackout was survivable because it ended. But what if it hadn't? What if 30 days became 60, 90? What if power never fully returned? Modern civilization is not designed for prolonged absence of electricity. Water systems fail, food production collapses, medical technology becomes useless. Cities turn into vertical traps instead of shelters. Humanity likes to believe progress moves forward, but New York's blackout proves progress can stall and even reverse faster than anyone expects. The city did not lose its power because it was weak. It lost power because it was complex, and complexity without resilience is fragile. The lights of New York now shine brighter than ever, but they cast longer shadows. Every glowing window is a reminder of dependence. Every illuminated street is a silent question, not if it can happen again, but when. Because the next blackout may not give warnings, the next one may not last 30 days, and the next one may not end at all.